What's up guys, Super K Sharpening, and I'm back with another video. This knife is one of the knives I own, and this thing is absolutely obnoxious. I've already got it set up in the clamp here, and I've already got it dialed in with my angle. This knife is so big it doesn't fit in the shot. Here's just a little camera rotation. Look at that, still going. Look how big this thing is. It fits two of my hands on there. And this is one I've owned for a while. Such a cool little, well, not a little knife, but this thing is like, it's Crocodile Dundee inspired. This thing is obnoxious. There is no edge on here. Obviously don't ever do this on your knife. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of work and see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't fall out of this clamp. This thing is actually pretty heavy. Surprisingly, the Wicked Edge jaws held it really well. I didn't, however, use the depth key because it would have put the knife way too high. So let's see what happens here. So I've never sharpened this knife before, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of, I guess, profiling. For some reason it's removing all the Sharpie down here at this end, but not so much down here. I do have it dialed in with settings, but it's so heavy that it's starting to tilt down. Same thing, the Sharpie is pretty much gone here, but from here to here it is not. And like I said, I think it's because, as you can see, there's a little bit of wiggle in the clamp here, which, I mean, I'm not really surprised because of the weight of this knife. On this side, the Sharpie is almost completely removed. What I may do, and I don't like doing this a whole lot, is I'm going to get my 50/80s out. This knife has a lot of chips and whatnot in this edge, and I'm probably just going to start out with the 80s, and then I'm going to go back up to the 200. And see what that does. And like I said, I don't normally like to do the 50/80 grits unless I just have to. I don't really have to. I just feel like this is going to be a lot of wear and tear on my stones here, and I don't really want to tear them up for this knife because I'm never going to carry this thing. I'm not trying to get a burr, I'm just trying to get this to sharpen evenly. And I think what's happening is the tape. So I'm actually, yeah, it's pulling on the tape. I want to see taking that off will help a little bit. I don't think it's going to change my angle too much. But it's so heavy that it's kind of binding that tape up. But I'm going to recheck my angle, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, so that did significantly change my angle. That's alright. So what we'll do is I'm going to dial it back in, because I had to adjust the angle pretty substantially. But I've noticed now that there's not nearly as much wiggle. I think the painter's tape just wasn't sticky enough, and there wasn't enough grip for it to hold on to this vise and the wicked edge, so it was causing the tape to kind of slide. So now let's try this. I'm not trying to develop a burr. I mean, you don't do that with the 50/80s. There's just that thin line of Sharpie, so I'm pretty confident with that clamp change that I can go back to the 200 grit stones and hopefully start doing the real work on these. And it should get rid of that Sharpie. I don't like using the 50/80s that much because they're so aggressive in terms of metal removal. I have no idea what kind of metal is used in this blade, so we'll see what happens. So this section right here looks really nice, but right there's still some Sharpie. So I'm going to see if I can just start developing a burr and see if it gets rid of it. So we've got a burr for tip the blade pretty well, not so much back here. Well, we're starting to develop an edge, but it's pretty bad. The steel is horrible. It says stainless steel on the side. I don't know what even this thing's going to do, honestly, but I want to see where we go with this. so much steel coming off this knife. It's wild. It's starting to develop something. I don't even want to call it an edge yet, because like I said, this steel is, it's a stainless steel right here. But there's still some Sharpie. It's super, super thin right up at the top. Oh, I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that scrubbing motion. I feel like it's just not good. Still trying to get that burr for the full length of the blade, so that's what I'm doing right now. Because I can feel it around the tip. Right in there. Right around there. Yeah, I don't know if this can come up on camera. That's just metal. That's the metal coming off of this thing. Oh, I'm gonna have to clean my counters real nice after this. So there, we got the burr. Alright. We're on something, fellas. A little spot right there. So we got the burr, so now we're going to do this side. notice there's a little bit of damage, like right in this section. There's some chipping in the blade, and that's coming out now. This thing is crazy, guys. Well, it's got something like an edge. Not much right there. And there's still like a weird spot right there. I will say one thing, even with the 200 grit uniform edge, I mean, it's a pretty edge. Now we are on something. We are cooking, my friends. My friends, we are cooking. The oven was on preheat earlier. Now one would say we are cooking. That's what I'm talking about. So there's a little bit of part of the tip that doesn't have much of an edge. Do a little bit of work around the tip right here. And then kind of work on the rest, keep everything as even as possible. I can't believe this thing's holding so well on the wicked edge. I know it's tilted down, I can see it. I'm sure y'all can as well. So that feels pretty good. I want to see kind of what we got going on right there. I can still see like a fraction of the Sharpie right there. Hey, we got it. So that's the trick. That's the secret, guys. I guess I had to move the wicked edge around to get everything nice and uniform as much as possible. So at this point, I'm just kind of doing some spot checks. I can see the different grinds in the blade. So like right here, and this is sometimes what I'll do whenever I'm sharpening someone's knife, is I'll mark spots that I need to go over. And I just make sure that the Sharpie's getting removed. So, can't really see it, but there's a line, about an inch long line right here that I want to work on. And then once I remove all the Sharpie, I know that I'm doing good. So that removed all the Sharpie. And that actually looks a little bit better. So what we'll do is we'll try to even it up on this side. And all the Sharpie's gone on this side as well. So now, I'm going to do alternating passes on both sides to remove any burr if I have any, super light pressure, and then we'll move to 600. So the initial startup is the only long part. And it may sound like I'm pressing really hard, it's just this steel is just awful. That looks pretty dang good. All right. This is one of those I'd want to do on the tour mech. I don't even know if it worked though, because the way this would clamp, but it would get all that uniform way quicker than what I just did. But this my friends has an edge on it. That's so cool. My cat's in the background. He's even excited about it. He's being all chatty. Oh, that's cool. So really what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to make everything uniform. The reason I like the up and down is it completely changes the grind pattern on here. I know in the long run it's probably going to hurt me if I was to go for a mirror finish because it would be having grinds like this, then having them up and down. I get that. Like I said, this is one of my own knives, so I'm not looking for a mirrored edge on this thing, guys. I'm just trying to get this thing sharp. I mean, as you saw when I started, I was rubbing my fingers across it. And like I said, don't ever do that on your knife. But this thing now, I wouldn't want to run my fingers across it because it's got an edge to it, guys. I know earlier I said that I found the burr for the full length of the blade. And I was going to switch to the 600s real soon. I just wanted to get a little bit more refinement. I promise I will complete this knife. I mean, this knife's bad to the bone. See that? I know it's upside down, but bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. So, you know, back here is where it says bone, but I know y'all can't see that. I'll get a full shot when we're done. This is so cool. It's amazing, like pulling out one of these knives from my collection. This one is deep in the collection. I mean, this is one that I don't really take out. I mean, this is just one that is aesthetically pleasing. I mean, this isn't something, I mean, obviously I'm going to cook dinner with or anything like that. So it's really cool pulling this out, but it's interesting too with the sharpener that I own. It's seeing all the damage to the blade. It makes me wonder over the years what I did with this knife, trying to sharpen it, or with those terrible pull-through sharpeners, like something like this. I mean, I probably had something like this when I was younger. I mean, it looks like a dog chewed this up. These, never again will I use. I wouldn't use these in necessarily even in a pinch of a situation. They're so bad. The only reason I have that, it was buried in my knife drawer, and that's why this thing came out. I found this in the knife drawer. Alright, wait, it's over, guys. Guess what we're about to do? About to go to the 600s. Here we go. 600 grit stones. This thing's about to turn a corner and be sharp. Although I feel like with one newspaper cut, with this high quality stainless steel, it's going to go dull in one swipe. Oh my goodness. This is going to be like a 2-hour sharpening for like a 2-minute dull. That's alright, guys. This is fun. I'm getting a kick out of this. So the 600s will probably stay in here for a little bit because of all that work I did with the 50, or the, not 50s, the 80 grit, then the 200 grit. I was giving this knife a run for its money in terms of use. Not abuse with those stones, but like I said, I'm not going for a mirrored edge on this guy, but it would be cool to see how sharp this thing can get. The edge is actually looking really nice. It's very, very pretty looking. It's, I guess, kind of a wider bevel, but it fits this knife really well. I'll put a picture of this on my Instagram. Y'all will have to go see this. See it's on there when I'm done. This is so cool. This thing's actually relatively sharp for what it is. Oh, here you go. So this will give some of y'all an understanding. So here's what I call kid scissors. So an entire pair of kid scissors fits on the blade here. And like I said, when we're done, I'll take it out of the clamp and show y'all kind of a full deal. Nice because these 600 grit stones don't feel as crunchy. When I was using the 50s and or not 50, I call them the 50s because they're the 50/80 grit stones. When I was using the 80 grit, I could just feel like all the crunch of the metal beneath the stones, and I could just feel it kind of what I call chugging, where it's like real like bumpy. But these are real smooth. I mean, the scratch pattern on here shows really well. I mean, it's a very uniform, clean scratch pattern on the blade right now. Figured if I'm going to do this one's going to be a longer video, but if I'm going to sharpen this thing, I'm going to make it nice and I'm going to make it sharp. Oh my goodness, guys. There's still that little spot, and it's probably the length of these guide rods. I do have the longer ones. I probably should have put those on there. In fact, I'm going to change them out. These, I believe, are the 12-inch guide rods. Let's see if we can swap those out. I want to see what that does. Probably should have used these from the beginning, but that's okay. I'm still very happy with the results I have so far with this knife. But these things, these guide rods are long. And there's the difference in my hand. This knife is to a point now to where I got to be really cautious on where I put my hands, because even though it wasn't sharp before and I was still trying to be very careful, I mean, I obviously ran my fingers across the top of it, but this thing has a pretty stout edge to it now, so now I gotta be careful. I want to see what this does. I want to see if these guide rods make any difference. I'm sure with this longer blade, yeah, these even feel better. Like, I feel like I'm making better contact with the knife all the way to the tip. These just have a smoother feel. Probably should have done these from the beginning. I wouldn't get in trouble by YouTube. I'd play the George Thorogood Bad to the Bone. But they would remove my video. So y'all are going to have to just, sing that guitar riff in your head for those of y'all that know that song. If you don't, if you've never heard that song, go check it out. It's called Bad to the Bone by George Thorogood. Awesome song. Alright, let's go to the 50/80s. or not, excuse me, not 58. Wow. We're going to go to the 800s, 1000s. It's way off. And these guide rods made the difference, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't believe this knife actually got sharp. That squeak you hear, if it's coming through, is the squeak of the stones sliding on this guide rod. I think there's some sort of texture from the machining when these were made where it squeaks. Alright, so from here, I'm going to switch to 1000 grit, and I want to say once again, I mean, we're 50 minutes into this video. If y'all have made it this far, I greatly appreciate it. Way cool, guys. Way cool, way cool, way cool. If you've made it 50 minutes, go ahead and subscribe. You know, if you're new to my channel, I sharpen weird things, I sharpen fun things, I sharpen cool things, I sharpen my knives, customer knives, I sharpen. So, if y'all love the content, you know, go ahead and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Share this content with friends. I have a kind of, not a promotion, but somewhat of a promotional kind of thing that I'm offering to my fans that follow me on this channel and follow me on my Instagram. If I hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube, I will shave my beard with a pocket knife. Now, I know the question is going to come up. Will I do it with this one? No. I'm not doing it with this one. I don't think I could honestly even do it. I'm not saying that the knife wouldn't be sharp enough. I just don't think I could honestly do that with this knife. And I don't particularly even want to. That would be obnoxious. But I gotta hit 1,000 subscribers and I'll shave my beard with a pocket knife. It's gonna be one that I own. Obviously I would never do that with a customer's knife. But I will pick probably multiple pocket knives because I feel like I'm going to dull them up really, really fast. And, you know, I'm willing to do that for the fans. So if that's something y'all want to see, I need y'all's help. I need y'all to share these videos. I need you to show everyone, tell everyone to subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. And if I hit 1,000 subscribers, or when I hit 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube, I'll shave my beard. And just to give y'all a little sneak peek, that's kind of what I'm working with. That's my beard setup. So nothing crazy in terms of a beard, but enough to have it be interesting in a video. So from here, I'm going to 2200 and then 3000, and then after that, I'm going to strap this baby. We're taking this thing all the way up, and then I got this like newspaper-esque magazine. We'll do some cuts, do a cut test, and see how I did. That squeak you hear is probably more pronounced with these quieter stones. Like I said, that's just the stones passing on these guide rods. Man, the Wicked Edge Go, the model I have, the guide rods that came with that, oh my goodness, those guide rods are so spooky. It's really kind of funny. Whoop. Doesn't bother me one bit, but it's just funny. What do you think, guys? Should this be my box cutter for Monday? Let me know in the comments. Sure, that'd be funny whipping this thing out, have that long draw like a katana. This thing weighs probably a couple pounds. Alright, so from here we're going to go to 3000. And I want to keep saying it, I appreciate y'all's time, because I know this video has gotten rather lengthy, but I wanted to do this one to its full sharpening degree, so I didn't want to try to make this one fast. This one is a fun sharpen, so this one's going to be a lot longer, and for y'all's voting, y'all's time to watch these videos, it means a lot. I do these for y'all. I love to sharpen, but I figured y'all would like to see what I'm doing. Alright, who's ready for some straps? Raise your hand. I assumed everybody raised their hand. Alright, perfect. Here we go. Thumbs up, 7 up. Whammy. We got a nice soon-to-be mirrored edge on this guy. We're going to start off with my straps here. Helps if you take these off. Now the straps, I will say, are slightly challenging on these longer guide rods. Not impossible, but for some reason they don't, as you can see, they don't really fall. I don't think that either these are drilled out the same size, or I haven't broken in these guide rods enough, but as you can see, there's kind of a stoppage, so you have to kind of mess with these a little bit different, because like I said, they don't, that one does, but this one obviously is not falling, and I'm not, let's see here, I'm not holding that by any means either, so here we go. So what we'll do is we'll lower it angled. I gotta be very careful because, like I said, since this strop doesn't glide loosely on this guide rod, I don't want to pull it back down into the blade. Otherwise, I'm going to cut a huge chunk out of my strop, which I can fix, and I've fixed before. I just don't want to have to do it again. I can't imagine trying to shave my beard with this thing. That would be obnoxious. Guys, I'm not doing it. I don't know. I don't even know what subscriber count I would have to get. I guess if y'all are interested in seeing that, make me an offer of subscriber count over 1,000. Has to be over 1,000 to where I'd even attempt it. Now I'm saying attempt because if it doesn't work, and I do like one swipe and try to shave my face with this and it doesn't work, I'm not going to sit there and chew up my face with a weird knife. But make me an offer, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. I don't know. See what happens. Oops. And we will do a newspaper slice this guy. See, this is weird, guys. See, I think it's the straps, because these have no resistance, which is perfect. I mean, that's what I want. I think these are just, these straps may be drilled out smaller. I don't know. That's so sharp for such a cheap knife. Alright guys, let's take this thing out. Let's mess with some paper. So, there you go. That's how big this thing is. Here's a Victorinox SD Classic. So, I mean oops, sorry about that. That's the size comparison. I mean, this thing gets dwarfed in this. I mean, the blade is almost as thick as one of these standing up. But this thing's so big, it might actually come through. Look at that. Look at that, guys. It does. It comes through. It's big enough to where you can see the mirrored edge. This thing has a mirrored edge. I think I paid like $30 for this at a craft fair in Dallas. But look at that, guys. It has a mirrored edge. Can you believe that? Look at that. Look at that. Holy moly. Holy moly, guys. It has a mirrored edge. Alright. I'm going to tear off a sheet of this magazine here. I cannot believe this. I can't believe this, guys. Alright, here we go. That was awful. That's not a good testament. I promise this thing is sharp. Look at that, guys. It actually cuts paper pretty nice. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that, guys. Hey, I just want to say a special shout out and thank you to you guys. We've spent an hour together. It's been fun. This thing was awesome to sharpen. Look at that. It's taller than my machine. Anyway, I'm Super Great Sharpening. It's been fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one.